Every leader has a moment, that quiet pause between I think I can, I'm not so sure. Welcome to Tutum Talk with me, Cara. Together, we'll explore what it means to lead with heart, to build confidence not from control, but from connection. Because your leadership isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And when you trust yourself, your team will too. Join me as we explore leadership in the everyday and beyond. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tutum Talk. I'm so grateful you're here. Whether you're listening on your drive, during a quiet moment at home, or while walking between meetings, thank you for making space for this conversation. Today's episode is called Calm is Contagious. And if you're here, I have a feeling you've already learned something most leaders figure out the hard way. You don't have to be the loudest in the room to lead powerfully. And you don't have to match the chaos around you to be effective within it. Sometimes, the most influential person in the room is the one who can stay anchored. Let's start here because there's a message so many heart-led leaders internalize. Real leaders are bold, commanding, high energy, always on. But here's the truth that I see every single day in my coaching practice. Being grounded is not being passive. Being calm is not being checked out. And being steady is not being small. Steadiness is leadership. And for so many of you, especially those who lead from empathy, from strategy, from connecting dots quietly, your calm has always been your superpower. You just didn't know it counted. But teams know. They feel it. When a leader walks into a room with centeredness and clarity, everything shifts. People breathe easier. The temperature drops. Psychological safety rises. And whether you realize it or not, when you enter the room, your presence creates permission for others to regulate themselves too. That's real influence. That's leadership. We're living and working in a world that is constantly on fire, emotionally, logistically, politically, organizationally. Teams are stretched. Leaders are stretched. Everything feels rushed. In environments like this, anxiety becomes contagious. Uncertainty becomes contagious. Fear becomes contagious. And that is why calm, genuine, grounded calm, becomes a strategic advantage. Not performative calm, not everything's fine calm, not spiritual bypassing calm. I'm talking about rooted calm, the kind that comes from clarity, boundaries, emotional awareness, and an internal sense of steadiness. That kind of calm does three powerful things for your team. It regulates the emotional temperature, as your team will match your energy faster than they match your words. It also creates psychological safety because people think more clearly when they aren't bracing for impact. And it clears space for better problem solving. Calm brains think, chaotic brains react. Your presence becomes the anchor, not the pressure point. Well, let's make this a bit more practical. Calm might look like taking a breath before responding, even when your inbox feels like a tidal wave. Saying, let's slow down and get clear on what the real issue is. Could also look like naming what you're saying. I'm noticing a lot of urgency. Let's pause for a second. It could also look like being the person who asks this grounding question. What's actually needed here? And it also looks like choosing to listen fully before offering direction. None of this requires volume. None of this requires force. And none of this requires you to become someone you're not. It only requires presence. And presence, when practiced, becomes contagious. Here's the part no one tells you. Calm on the outside is built from inner clarity on the inside. Leaders who cultivate calm usually practice things like self awareness, which is knowing your triggers, not shaming yourself for them. They also cultivate calm through strengths awareness, understanding what naturally grounds them. They also cultivate calm through boundaries, giving yourself enough margin to respond, not react. They also cultivate calm by regulating rituals, the things that help your nervous system land. And they also cultivate calm through permission, allowing yourself not to carry what was never yours to hold. But here's the truth: calm is not an accident. It's not a personality trait some people magically have. Calm is a practice built through healing, reflection, and choosing again and again not to let the loudest energy in the room be the one that leads you. Your presence, your centered presence, is a gift, and it can be developed like any other leadership muscle. Let's be honest, there are days when calm feels like a rumor, when everything hits at once, when someone's frustration lands on your shoulders, when decisions pile up faster than clarity, when you're tired, stretched thin, or doubting yourself. Calm doesn't always feel accessible. If that's where you are today, please hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system is signaling that it needs support, not judgment. In those moments, small resets matter. Step outside for 2 minutes. Take 5 slow breaths. Put one hand on your heart and one on your stomach. And tell yourself, let's just find the next right step. Calm doesn't mean serene. Calm means centered enough to move forward with intention. Even if you're holding on by a thread, your thread still counts. Every leader I work with, from executive directors to team leads to new managers, has a moment where they realize, oh, how I show up is shaping the system. Yes, it does. Your calm makes hard conversations safer. Your calm steadies people who are spiraling internally. Your calm helps your team trust your guidance. Your calm keeps conflicts from escalating. Your calm models emotional regulation. And your calm builds a culture where people can breathe and do their best work. Calm changes rooms. Calm changes relationships. And calm changes teams. Because people can't flourish in a climate of fear, but they can grow in an environment of groundedness and trust. As we wrap up, I want to invite you into one question. Where is your leadership, or where in your leadership do you feel called to bring more calm, not as a performance, but as a presence? Maybe it's in your weekly team meeting. Maybe it's in the moments before you give feedback. Maybe it's with someone who trains your energy. Maybe it's on the days when you're hardest on yourself. Wherever it is, you don't have to fix everything overnight. You just start with presence. Your calm is contagious, and it is more than enough. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'm grateful you're here, and I'm grateful for the work you're doing, even the work no one sees. If today's episode resonated, if you're craving more steadiness, clarity, or support in your leadership, I'd love to work alongside you. You can click on Let's Connect button on the Tutum Leadership Coaching website to schedule time with me for one-on-one coaching, especially if you're needing more grounding during this season. You don't have to lead alone. You have community here. I know you have a lot of options on how you carve out your day and spend your time, and I'm honored that you decided to spend some time here today at Tutum Talk. Remember that leadership, it isn't something that we master once. It's something we grow into, moment by moment. My hope is that today offered you a little more clarity, a little more courage, and a reminder that you're not leading alone. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it too. And remember, confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It grows from connection, curiosity, and the courage to keep showing up. I'm Cara, and this has been Tutum Talk, exploring leadership in the everyday and beyond.